Alright, what's up YouTube? This one's going to be a bit different. This is vlog number 8 of the Vodinh poker vlog. We're with the girlfriend for this one. This one's special. We're not going to be playing at 52 Social Poker. We're actually going to be at Champions Social Club. We're going to be doing a meetup game with Ethan Yau, otherwise known as Rampage Poker. You guys know him, 2020 bracelet winner. Shout out to him. So he'll be here for this meetup game in Houston, Texas this weekend. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday. I'm only going to be playing here for 2 hours, and me and the girlfriend got to go to a friend's birthday dinner thing. But yeah, so let's go inside. Hope to run good. We'll have a cameo of him when he comes, but yeah, see you guys inside. So we enter the game for $1,000. It's 1-3 match to stack. Actually buying max of $1,000, otherwise half the biggest stack. So we bind for 1,000. Our first hand we get kings. We pre-flop bet to 20 under the gun, and everyone folds. This next hand we are in the cutoff with ace queen of spades and heart. We make it $15 after a few people limp. The hijack calls. Flop comes 9 ace 10, a club, and 2 hearts. The hijack weirdly enough donk bets into us $20. We have an easy call here. We don't want to bloat the pot in case he has 2 pair or something. There is merit to raising in case he's not on a straight draw, but we elect to call. The turn is a king of spades, so not a super great card. Queen jack open-ended gets there. We are blocking a queen though. He donk bets into us again, $25, so I don't think I want to raise here, given that queen jack gets there now, and a lot of obviously 2 pair hands are beating us, so I just elect to call. River is 7 of clubs, and for the same reasons that I didn't want to raise on the flop return. When he checks us, I think we have enough showdown value, so I check it back, and our ace queen is good after he shows us queen 10 offsuit. So pretty weird line by him, but we're happy to take it down. In our next hand, we're under the gun +2 with 10-9 offsuit. Under the gun +1 limp. I make it $15 with a decently playable hand post flop. Small blind, big blind fold, and then the under the gun and under the gun +1 both call. So go 3 ways to a flop, which comes 6, ace 6, 2 diamonds, and a spade. It checks back to me, and I'm gonna c-bet again for $30, representing an ace, maybe some 6x hand like 5, 6, 6, 7. The undergun and the undergun calls and the +1 folds, so we go heads up to turn, which comes with 5 of spades. When it checks back to me, I think I can just size up really strong and get him to fold, so I bet 80 into 109, and he ends up tank folding, and we show the bluff for good measure, building ourselves a nice bluffy image. So I will say that this table seems to be playing pretty soft and pretty light, so I open up my range a bit, trying to take down spots like you saw in that last hand. This next hand we're in the big blind with 4, 6 of clubs. The +1, +2 limp. The cutoff makes it $10. The button calls, and for $7 more with a decently playable hand post flop, that's pretty disguised. We call. The +1 and +2 call behind us. Flop comes 9, 4 deuce, 1 club, 2 hearts, so not too bad of a flop for our hand. We obviously check. The original raiser gets checked around to the original raiser, who then bets $25. For 25 into 51, I think we can call one more street and float R4. See what else we can pick up on the turn with maybe some club equity or maybe a straight draw equity. So we do call, and the +2 also calls. So we go 3 ways to turn, which comes to 5 of spades. This isn't a terrible card for us, but we still don't want to bet at all. We want to let the initial aggressor continue to make moves, so it checks around to him again. He ends up shoving for 120, I would say, 125. Obviously we have an easy fold here. It's a pot size bet. We don't have any equity to call here. If he bets smaller, we might be able to peel one more time to see a card, maybe a 3, 4, 6 that would help us, but we fold, and that's the end of that hand. In this next hand, we're on the button. We have a straddle on for $6. We have ace 9 of diamonds with our button straddle, which is pretty good. The big blind and the +1, the hijack, and the cutoff all limp to $6. We're not going to let them get in for that cheap, especially with this good of a hand on our button straddle, so we pop it up to $36. The hijack is the only one that calls, so we go heads up to a flop. It comes queen 10 5, spade, heart, spade. The hijack checks to us. We're gonna size it up to almost a pot size bet, just to take it down. We have no equity in this hand, so we want to just represent some kings or aces. Basically, really strong hands. If anything, ace queen would be the lowest bottom of our range here. So we bet $80 into 90. The hijack tanks and folds, and we show the one ace. Yeah, that's basically all that happened for this hand. Yeah, no equity, barrel one time. If we don't hit on the turn, or if he calls, we just surrender. So in this hand, we're against our good buddy Rampage Poker, Ethan Yau. If you guys don't follow him, go ahead and check out his channel, Rampage Poker on YouTube. He produces some really good entertaining content, and he just won a World Series of Poker bracelet this year in the online event. So he's a winner in my books. We decide to limp under the gun with ace-9 offsuit. This is a hand you should not be limping or playing under the gun at all, but we decide to get it in with Rampage Poker here. So we limp. Ethan makes it 18. Small blind, big blind fold. We have an easy call here to go heads up with the champ. We call, so we're going heads up to a flop that comes 7, 10, queen, 2 spades, and a club. I check to the initial better. He leads for $20, and we have a call here with the 1 over and backdoor straight equity. We just want to splash around, try to make a move on him. It's a meetup game. We're trying to have fun here. Turn comes jack of hearts, so now we're open-ended, and we have the gutter to the better straight of Broadway if a king hits on the river. So we check to him. He bet $75. This is a really good check raise spot with the open ender and the better straight to the ace. So I check raise to 200. I think I prefer sizing of 250 to 300 more so, because we want to also incentivize a fold regardless, because we have ace high in this spot. He tanks for a while, looks at his cards, puts a chip back on it, and ends up calling. So we go to the river, which comes the king of spades. The front door flush spades do get there, but I'm not too worried about that. He shouldn't be calling too many spade flush draws on the turn when we check raise him. We should have more flush draws than he does. So I do jam with the nut straight, and he ends up folding pretty quickly, saying he doesn't like the spot. So shout out to you, Ethan. You made a good fold. All in. This one. You want to pick one, Ethan? Whichever one. Sure. Ethan. In this next hand, we are in the cutoff with ace deuce offsuit. Still getting splashy and opening our range up. Under the gun makes it $12. We call, the small blind calls, and the big blind folds. So 3 ways to flop, which comes deuce, 5, 6. Pretty good flop for our hand. It shouldn't hit their ranges too much, especially the undergun openers. It checks to us, and I bet $20 because we do hit the board and we would protect our one pair. The small blind calls and the undergun folds. So now I'm a bit worried because the one person that this board would hit their range would be the small blind. Turn comes a 6. It checks to me again, and I size up a bit, $50 into 79. He does call, so I'm worried that he might have a 6 now, if not 3, 4. So when the river comes a 5, we're counterfeit completely by the board, so we're playing 6s and 5s with ace kicker. So we just have showdown value. When he checks to us, we check it back, and he ends up showing 7s. So pretty surprising hand that he has there, but he takes it down, and we lose that pot. In this hand, we have pocket queens. The undergun +1 limps. We're not going to let him in for cheap, so we make it $18. The button calls and the +1 calls. So we go 3 ways to flop, which comes jack 9, 5. Pretty good flop for our queens. We c-bet $35 when it checks to us. Both the button and the +1 call, so we have a pretty big pot brewing. Pot's 163. Turn comes a 3. Board still pretty rainbow, so it's pretty good board for us, but we don't want to have 2 people behind us continuing with us in case they hit some 2 pair or straight. So we're going to charge them for those hands. Any jack X hand we're going to charge them for too. So we bet 125 into 163 with both those players behind. The button and the +1 fold, so we're happy to take down the pot there. A lot of dead money in the pot. No reason to try to extract more value and get sucked out on. In this next hand, a new player just sat down into the big blind, so we're in the small blind with Jack 5 of clubs. We limp it when it gets to us, and the big blind checks his option. Flop comes pretty favorable. It comes 3 King Jack with 2 clubs. So we flop middle pair with the club draw. So we lead out immediately, $10 into the pot. The big blind calls and everyone else folds. So heads up now. Turn gives us the flush with the 9 of clubs. So now we're going to go for a bit more value. We bet $20. We don't want to scare him off too much. He does in fact call pretty quickly. The river comes in 8 of spades. So the 10 queen gets there, and 10-7 also gets there for the straight. But if he called on the turn, we want him to call on the river too. We size up to a bet of $70 on the river, and he ends up tanking a bit and folding. So we can't get max value there, but we're happy to take down the pot with a pretty crappy hand, Jack 5 of clubs. So I got to have fun heads up against this other player for this last hand. We're in the button with Disraeli Ron, Queen Deuce suited, hearts. The hijack and cutoff, myself and the small blind all limp. And I was saying how I'm supposed to raise his hand on the button, but I don't. So we all limp, and the big blind checks it. The flop comes gin, 10, 9, 4, all hearts. So he flopped the queen high flush draw. Pretty hard thing to do. It all checks around to us. We're obviously going to bet this board, charging all other one hand heart flush draws, and any maybe ace 10, king 10, queen 10 type hand, or even straight draws. So we bet $20 into a $15 pot, over betting the pot, of course. And the hijack calls, so we go heads up to a turn of the 8 of clubs. The hijack checks us, and we make it $30. And the hijack actually min clicks it to $60. We have an easy call here. No reason to bloat the pot any more than it is. So on the river, it comes an interesting card in the ace of hearts. So we're losing to only the king of hearts. So the hijack bets 160 to 175. I think it'd be too nitty of us to fold here, so we do snap call, and he shows us king jack with the king of hearts and the jack of clubs. So kind of a sucky spot to be in. We had him on the flop all the way, and he was just drawing to that one heart, but he does get there. So we do lose this one last big hand, but all in all, we still cash out the session with profit. So what can you do? See ya. Have a good rest of your trip, dude.
Thanks for going out, man.
Bye, have a good one. Alright, so we just finished up at Champions. We were in for the game for 1,000, out for 1,170, so profit 170 for 2 hours. Not bad. We got flushed over flush, so that kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Happy to take a profit.